The list price of the Harbor Freight Quantum 1800 lumen flashlight is $30 in January of 2022. It's rechargeable and is called a tactical light. Sometimes Harbor Freight hits one out of the park for price and quality. Other times, it's a tipped fowl that could take out the catcher. So we'll put it through its paces and see what you think. Hi, I'm Scott Payne. They call me the old farmer. Anything we buy must meet minimum requirements, and then it needs to be worth the price, whether it's a list price or a sale price. For example, if you could get this Tesla Model S for $10,000, it would be a great deal. To pay the same $10,000 for this quantum flashlight, let me know and I'll sell you mine right now. Let's take this to a dark room and see what it'll do. I will turn off all the automatics on the camera so you can see the differences as we check out the brightness. I'll be honest and say I don't have a light meter. But if it's not quite 1800 lumens, or it's more than 1800 lumens, I won't be able to tell. But we can see if it will do the job or not. And let's face it, that's what's important.
Okay. This is a J5 tactical light, 300 lumens, and I've got the focus adjusted so it pretty much covers the sheet of paper that I'm using to reflect off of. It uses a AA battery, and this is the second one that I have had because I lost the cap to the first one. And this thing sometimes turns on in my pocket. Overall, it's been a pretty good little light, except it's getting to the point where the switch is getting flaky on this thing, so it's time to replace it. This is the lowest setting of the Quantum 1800. Again, I've got the camera in manual, so it's not adjusting for how bright things are. I apologize for the echo. We're in a walk-in bathroom, and it's dark enough that it could be used for photography. So it's perfect for checking out lights. So this is the lowest setting. Okay, this is, I believe, the medium setting. Okay. Okay, now let's see if I can get this up to the high setting. There we go. This is a full 1800 lumen. So you can tell, I'll do it again, set it for 2 seconds. Okay, jump down. There's not really that much difference between the medium setting and the high setting on this thing. And I've been having problems having the switch work properly on it. It's getting tangled up with the rubber cap on the end of it. Now, let me bring out the big light that I use outside. There is no focus on this thing. You get either this, or you can get to a lower setting. Whoops. This is the high setting. This is the low setting. There's a little bit of beating in the camera with the LED lights, but you don't see it by the eye, but you do see it strobing in the camera, and I'm recording at 60 frames per second, and you can see what the light's like. Put it this way, I can light up trees It will light up maybe a half mile. I have lit up a car that was doing strange things at night and threw the flashlight on the car, and down the road I can do half mile, but I don't like to shine it there because it could get into houses and it can affect the driver. So in fact, I'm even careful with airplanes so that I don't inadvertently blind the pilots on it. I use it at night as a protection when Maggie goes out to relieve herself at night. There are owls and there are coyotes, and I have seen a bobcat, so a light like this will drive them away, and it's a good way to protect Maggie at night. So that's this light. Yeah, I really like this big light. It's rechargeable, but you have to pull the batteries out. Same battery as what two of the batteries that the battery that the Quantum uses. There's two in the big flashlight. But let's see if I can swing this around and light this up to show you this cap. I'll put this back into auto. Okay, this is what I've done. See if I can get this so that you can see what I've done here. Now what I've done is I cut off the finger of one of those disposable gloves and put it over the end of the flashlight. Now this is going to give me a heck of a lot more moisture control than what that little cap did. Now granted, it's about a tenth of the thickness of that cap, but at least it goes down over the top of it. It takes away any openings for moisture to get into it. Now let's see how hard it is to work with this. Okay. Turn off the other light. Here we go. Okay. Seems to work maybe even a little bit better. This is the way it should normally work. And I was just fighting it. It would go on like this. See, okay, it came on. It would click and do nothing, such as going on, or if it was on, I would click it and it would still stay on, or it wouldn't click at all because the cap had pushed the switch all the way down. So it works a lot better when you put the finger of a glove.
Let's talk about the good points. More than ample lighting for most close to medium distance work. The body of the flashlight is well made. It's the type of light I could carry in my pocket or flip the clip around for hooking it to the bill of my cap, or even the William of my cap. The Quantum 1800 flashlight is rechargeable with a USB port on the side of the body, underneath the front cowling. The flashlight uses the 18650 battery that is rated at 3.7 volts, 2200 milliamp hours, giving 8.14 watt hours. The battery is removable for charging or changing out the battery. That means you can get extra batteries and just swap out. But it can stay in the light and be charged using a USB cable that is supplied. The clip is sturdy enough even though it's a clip-on style. Some have stated in the comments they felt it was not sturdy enough. Even if it was screwed to the light, it wouldn't be any sturdier. The clip fits the light and it will work for its intended use, understanding that this is a larger and heavier than normal pin light. Now for what I feel are the negatives. It's rated for moisture at IPX7, Sorry, Harbor Freight, not even close. In fact, the cap on my flashlight has popped off a couple of times already, which means if you're in the rain and the light gets wet enough so that water starts flowing, this rubber seal will not protect it. It's a flimsy rubbery compound that will have the switch poking through it in short order. If you consider the shape of the flashlight, you may wish to put a covering of your own over the back of the light as added protection, and protecting the cap from getting lost. Maybe cut off a finger of a rubber glove and pull it over the switch end of the light. The switch feels very light and may fail rather quickly. It has tangled with the cap already and made it very difficult to turn on or turn off the light occasionally. The switch should have been set further into the flashlight to protect from accidentally turning on the light. I've done this several times already, and one time when I needed it, the battery was dead because the flashlight was on in my pocket. The USB cord is only a foot long. Come on, really, a foot? This makes it difficult to plug into some of the charging ports. You know, the USB charger that plugs into the wall and then the USB cord plugs into the plug. Also, I don't like that the USB plug for the flashlight is under the front cowling of the light. I like to put a film of petroleum jelly over the threads to lubricate it, both the front cowling and the back threaded cap. You know, for getting the battery out, should have jelly to help seal against moisture and to lubricate the threads. The threads are good enough if you coat them. Otherwise, they may be a bit annoying as they grind along the threads. With the USB port for the flashlight being under the front cowling, I will be uncomfortable coating the threads with petroleum jelly. This will not be a problem with the threads on the battery cap. I don't like that it's a micro USB plug on the flashlight. The smaller the plug, the quicker it will start getting flaky. Also, I consider this USB port to be off-standard, which means another USB cord that I will have to buy to have a decent length cord. At the very least, this cord should be 2 feet long, not 1 foot. I'm starting to get the same attitude about USB connectors as I am about batteries. I use only DC and AA batteries with the standard alkaline batteries. If it's a 9-volt or AAA, I won't buy the product. We need to insist that the largest size USB plug that can fit is used, and make these plugs standardized. So when Harbor Freight watches this video, Harbor Freight, don't buy a product that has 9-volt batteries or AAA batteries. As for USB size, don't go below a C plug. This will be my last micro USB product I will be buying or accepting for any reason. I will consider such products as having a design flaw. If I accidentally buy outside of my format, I will return stating a design flaw in manufacturing. The manufacturers can standardize, so let's make them do it. This is one of the many reasons why I won't buy an iPhone. Off-standard USB plug. Product will meet my needs, not the manufacturer's or the seller, and you should feel the same way too. I'm not impressed with the different looms when switching between high power and super high power. I think 2 different loom settings are enough since they're so close in brightness with the high power and the super high. Have the super high, have the low. Forget the middle one. My conclusions. I've got to be honest, folks. This is far from being a tactical light. They have added things that cost more that are not needed and skimped on the parts that should be of higher quality, such as the switch and the rubber button on the back and a better USB port. I would not take this out into the bush, except maybe as a backup light. Believe it or not, the Harbor Freight puck light is usually bright enough for most needs. I have never bought one. I got them during a promotion. I think they're great little lights, but I will not buy them because they run on AAA batteries. You need to meet my needs, Harbor Freight, not yours. I did want something with more looms. for those times when I need more light, such as when I'm lighting something that's in a shadow on a bright day. This means I need more than triple the lumens of a puck light. The rated lumens of a puck light is 144 lumens. Again, let's get these puck lights up to AA batteries instead of AAA. My previous pocket light had 300 lumens and couldn't light shadows in the daylight. The other negative about the quantum flashlight is that it should turn on at the lower level, or at least turn on at the strength set by the user. Thank goodness this model doesn't have that flash setting that's absolutely worthless unless you're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Would I buy this light again? No. But I would think it would be a good light to have in the car or truck. I'll settle for the larger size so that I can have the staying power and the brightness that I need most times. If Harbor Freight went back and fixed the rubber end cap, making it actually a durable water seal, I think I would buy it again. For now, you could use it in a light rain and even in heavy rains. If you remember that the rubber end cap isn't going to keep water out of the circuitry, or use the finger of a glove to go over the end. But I must admit, if they fix these weaknesses, this would be a darn good light if you buy it on sale. On another topic, let me say to all the folks that have hung in there and to those new subscribers, thank you very much, and I really mean it. We will be having more reviews coming up in the weeks ahead. I've got some things from Harbor Freight that are not the typical cordless power tool, so stay tuned. Well, this is the old farmer, Scott Payne. Be well. Be safe.
Don't forget to click like and click subscribe on the Old Farmer YouTube channel, and thanks again for watching. Bye.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.